Two LOL shows in 4 days, Brian. How fortunate is that?
I didn't think about that. You're right.
It does seem like, I mean, this whole year has feel like we've lived an eternity, but I also feel like we've lived many lifetimes just since Saturday Night Show.
Yeah, it does kind of seem like 2021 went by kind of fast, honestly.
It is the weird mindfuck where it did go by fast, and yet I think just because of how much occurred, it also feels like it could have been a 3-year span. Like the fact that I didn't know what Top Shot or NFTs were 12 months ago still kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, and that does seem like a lifetime ago.
Yeah. All right. So we have a fun show on tap for you guys tonight. We have over the past year, we have referenced Ben the Bettor. We have had some fun with Ben the Bettor. For those of you guys who don't know, he is a sports betting tout / personality who, as of, maybe the past 6 months, started mixing it up more with the DFS space. And Brian, I believe you had a call with him. Was that in the summer about a potential DFS head-to-head contest?
Yeah, I can't remember. Speaking of time flying. Oh, yeah, probably like 4 months ago. I don't know.
And that all started from the jumping out of the trash can saying if I had 150 lineups, I would win 2. And you kind of put out a call. Okay, let's do this. However you want to do it. And then it ended up basically falling through, right?
Yeah, I just responded, okay, I'll play you for money or something. And then we had that whole, we've done episodes on it where you can go back and see. But yeah.
And then he'd also then more recently started to mix it up with Ship My Money, who was on our Saturday show, Blender. They'd been some head-to-heads with DFS. And this is all, following him being a notoriously bad, almost generationally improbably bad sports bettor, but then he was willing to take some shots at DFS as well.
Yep. We started fading him in the Lulz Discord a long time ago. And I've said it a bunch of times, like it's like impossible to be this bad.
Yeah, I missed out on that. I was like busy this summer, but you guys would post the bets in there and the Oppo betting, all of the Ben the Bettor bets. It was one of the it was a fun part of the summer in the Discord. And then flash forward to on Saturday night, we were even talking about it on our UFC hang, which was a very fun time. And we saw Empire Maker, and I don't know how it came up, if they had a back and forth, but he offered him a free roll, a $5,000 free roll to call the final 3 fights of the night. Was that correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm. A parlay. He had to parlay 3 fights to win the 5K.
And did he hit any of those?
I think he lost all 3. Yeah, he lost all 3.
He lost all 3, and he did a very typical Ben the Bettor trope, which is kind of the woe is me. I run so bad. I finally had my get out of jail free card, and I botched it.
Yeah.
And then I actually don't. What made Empire Maker willing to run it back for him again on Sunday?
I think he was trying to get him to. I think he didn't think he's not sure if he was legit. And he wanted him to really pick as hard as he could, like know that he's actually trying to pick winners so he could bet against it.
Right.
That's my guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and we've seen Empire Maker. He's done the steak of fish stuff before. He's definitely willing to spend a couple $1,000s on some Twitter entertainment. He's definitely known to do that. So we head into Sunday, and I don't even remember the picks now other than the Buccaneers. He had to pick 3 against the spread, and he got there. He got there in overtime. The Bucs ended up covering for him.
Yeah, that's the Chiefs, I think.
He bet the Chiefs against the Raiders, which was a big spread. And then I believe he had Seahawks covering against the Texans.
Yeah, that might sounds right. I don't know. We can look, but who cares? He won it.
Yeah. So he hits it. And I mean, what are the, I mean, if NFL spread bets are, you know, mostly a 50% chance, he had, what did he have? What were his odds of that, of hitting those 3?
12%, 12.5%.
Yeah, 12%. So he hits a nice hit there. And immediately Empire Maker, who's willing to settle on his bets, apparently slides into his DMs and says, where can I tell me your PayPal? I'll send over the $5,000. But we have a plot twist. Ben the Bettor does not have a functioning PayPal account.
Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, doesn't have a PayPal account. So EM2 blocks him.
Yeah, EM2 gave him, kind of a quick ultimatum. Hey, figure it out. Get a friend, get a family member, someone. I'll send this over. Ben the Bettor starts scrambling, trying to find someone to help him out here. He actually DM'd both of us looking for help on this situation. And while this was transpiring, Brian, he got Empire Maker blocked Ben the Bettor as this was happening, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I think Empire Maker was fed up with it. He's probably upset that he had to ship $5,000 on a 12%, bet maybe. Dealing with that bullshit.
He also probably bet all 3 of those games the opposite side. And he's like, I don't want to do extra steps for giving someone food. I'm guessing. I don't want to do extra steps. Just fucking take the 5K.
Right. Yeah. If I got a free 5K and you want to send it to me via Venmo, via Zelle, via Bitcoin, via Shiba Coin, I'm just gonna accept the payment. So Brian, he DMs both of us around the same time. I elected not to respond, but you pretty much snap responded to Ben the Bettor.
Did I? Let me look if I did. I might have just messaged you.
Right. I mean, snap.
I don't think I snapped responded to him.
Within like 5 minutes, you responded, right?
I'll look. I'll tell you. Okay, I did snap respond because he said, "Can I ask you something?"
It's a classic trap. I'll tell you right now. If anyone had ever asked me that in my DMs, I flat out ignore. You have to lead with your request, because if you lead like that, I know there's a catch. There's anything good that comes after that.
That was dumb of me. Yes. And I should add, while this is going on, that I snap responded to him. Me and you had a different opinion of Ben the Bettor, as most people probably watching this, which we'll get into in a second. But anyway,
yes.
So I did respond, and then he says, I'm messaging you because I trust that you would never take advantage of me in a million years. EM2 is telling me he will only send via PayPal. My account's frozen, blah, blah, blah. I told him he can even pay me on Patreon. He asked me to find a friend, and I said, are you sure he's even cool with this?
And the big thing that also was happening around this same time was Ben the Bettor threatened suicide on Twitter. Yeah. I'm not even kidding you guys. Won't hear from me ever again if Empire Maker doesn't do the right thing. There's only so much a person can put up with before you just break down and say, fuck all of this. A pretty explicit suicide threat on Twitter that has since been deleted.
Yeah, pretty, as you'll see in a second, pretty fucking lame, honestly. But so that got everyone's attention, including Empire Maker, apparently.
Yeah. There's this thing in internet culture too, where it's all fun and games until, there's legitimate concerns. Mental health is a legitimate concern. And I assume most people take those kind of threats or claims at face value, as they should. You want to believe people, because more oftentimes than not, there is validity to what they are saying. He ended up, tell us how then you ended up receiving the money and you ended up getting the money to Ben the Bettor.
So I wasn't gonna do anything like until EM2 then DM'd me and he goes, "Will you take this guy's money?" I'm like, and I said, "I guess." I mean, I kind of have to now, right? I mean, and then he's like, we had a little back and forth about what, if he's a troll or not. And then he sent me the money. I'm like, okay, just send me the money. I'll give him Bitcoin.
Was this conversation with Empire, was this after the suicide threat where he was willing to give the money to you?
Yeah.
Which, Empire Maker, because he has a conscience, and he's a fair gambler, someone that's willing to settle up on his bets. He sees that someone is threatening suicide. I don't think under normal circumstances, Empire Maker would have wanted to put up with this kind of bullshit and rigmarole for a free roll. But when you see a threat like that, the fact that he was even willing to play ball, I didn't think he would be willing to do that. But I think everyone took that threat seriously.
Yeah. I don't know why he just didn't send it to him himself. Like, and he's a crypto bro, it seems like.
Yeah.
But anyways, they wanted to go through me, and I'm like, well, okay, then we gotta do it now. And he was like, you saw he's tagging Doug Polk and Daniel Negreanu.
Yeah, all the poker guys tried to get whatever leverage, because in his mind, he says Empire Maker is enough of a public figure. If I can slander his name by saying he's welching on a bet, maybe this will strong arm him into giving me the money in the way I want to receive the money.
Yeah, and it worked. He got everyone, he got a big reaction, got the money, deleted the post, and then immediately...
How did you actually get him the money through Patreon? I wasn't aware of the mechanics.
I did. I sent him Bitcoin.
Oh, you sent Bitcoin. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you just used it as a chance to cash out some of your Bitcoin.
No, I don't. I didn't want to give him any.
Yeah. I'm just wondering.
Suicide.
Yeah. So that brings us kind of up to date. Everyone, of course, got a kick out of Brian, being the one to help, mediate a down on his luck, Ben the Bettor. But here's the thing, guys. Brian and I have known that Ben the Bettor is a parody account for a good amount of time now. It was a while back, sometime in the fall. Brian and I both received this anonymous tip from an account that said, at English Math PhD is BTB. That is all. So Brian and I had been poking around on this for a while. And I would say part of us, we had enjoyed the bit. I think we even respected that he had, pulled one over on us in the summer with the DFS stuff and the trolling. That it was kind of, we kind of respected it.
Oh yeah, definitely. After I've kind of figured it out, I'm like, oh my God, he must have been laughing at me so hard in the beginning. And then eventually I was kind of leaning into it a little bit. But to your credit, Peter, like when we researched this a little bit, you're like, troll. Total troll. And I'm like, there's still like a chance this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, and like all this evidence we found is not true. But you were like, no. Like I was 100%, and then some things happened. You're like, no, I'm 90%, but I'm still sure. But I wasn't like 100%. So like, to give you full credit, honestly, that's another reason why I was like, okay, I'll do this legwork for this guy, just in case the odd chance that we're wrong and there's like this maniac loser out there who's going to kill himself.
Right. And the other part of this story was that I forgot to mention in the lead up was when you were negotiating the terms of your potential, head-to-head DFS contest, you actually did a call with him on Discord. And then Ben the Bettor recently, this past week or 2 weeks, put out a Q&A video. And Brian confirmed that it was the same voice as the person he talked to. Both Brian and I were featured in that video. And I would say in the video, and you said it in your conversation, it did sound like a younger person, wouldn't you say? Like mid-20s maybe?
Yeah, yeah. And he said he was mid-20s. Was the same voice that I talked to. And it was the same voice in the he did the Evil Empire video too. I think he talked in that, didn't he? Remember that bit was fucking funny too. See, he had
Yeah,
funny stuff.
that's the thing it's so unfortunate, and why we were willing to play ball with it, because some of the
Yeah,
stuff was legitimately the awful the pissing on it.
yeah,
And then, as Drico points out, the suicide attempt was
yeah.
parody. And
That's why
that's
I
why
wanted.
that's why we're here tonight,
Yeah.
because it all comes burning down. The comedian who shouts a bomb on a plane is not being funny. So tonight is all about Ben the Bettor having a good run, but now it is over and we can all pack it up, and we'll go through some more of these tweets here. But
Oh yeah.
as we started digging around, this wasn't actually a super well kept secret. Once you knew the account English Math PhD, you could start going and searching combos of Ben the Bettor handle, English
Yeah.
PhD. And here's one just from recently. Punch Drunk Pat, the great English Math PhD reveal here.
Oh yeah. And you guys could do this too, where just do it right now and you'll find it's not very hard to figure this out. But we saved a lot of the screenshots just in case he starts deleting them and stuff. And also, he had a troll account before this that didn't go as hot, I'm guessing. I
Yeah,
can't
what
remember
was that
something.
one?
It was something tennis. I have it saved. We can look it up in a second. But so he's been trying to get this troll account going for like over 5-6 years.
Yeah. And Schiff, this is, again, to emphasize, this is the reason we're doing this. Joking or threatening suicide is no joke. And that's the thing. He had a good bit going. It was a legitimate, he got so many people. He was legitimately funny. He did some good character work. And then he lost his fastball and he wasn't funny anymore. And so, and now it has to end.
Here's what you said yesterday. I think this is spot on. You said, like, okay, let's say it is real. You didn't say this, but I'm paraphrasing here. If it's like the Cash Out King stuff, like once he goes to a super dark place, there's no fun in it, right? There's no upside. And if it's a parody, then he's a hack for playing the suicide card. So like for any way you slice it and dice it, like it's like, okay, it's over, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like everyone's gonna know that the joke's up and who you are. And hopefully we can get people to share this quite a bit so he can't like keep going and stuff. And also like, so he is giving out supposedly his Oppo plays.
And we're gonna get to this, DJ.
We're gonna get to this because he's a most. I mean, it seems like a professional sports bettor, and he's giving out his Apple plays. But he also does like NFL sides and stuff 5 minutes before the kickoff, which like you can't have an edge on. So like he's still giving out shitty plays. Not that I give a fuck about that. Give out as many plays as you want, but like I'm sure some people wouldn't be too happy with that.
Yeah. And so we can go through some of these, like as you start to poke around, there's various accounts throughout the sports betting space that have made these claims, talked about it. Ben and Rob are the same person. Actually, it's Ben in English Math PhD who are the same person. Rob, he's talking about, is it Rob Pizzolo, I think was in this thread. Yeah. Rob doesn't have enough college degrees to be Ben. There's another one here. I hope Ben the Bettor is on USC. Sometimes you have to tag English Math PhD depending on what account he's logged into. There's lots of little breadcrumb tweets like this once you know that you can connect the dots here.
Oh yeah. I mean, and are do you want to just go through? There's somewhere I mean,
yeah, we're gonna get to these here. So now we can get to some of these tweets that involve English Math PhD. He was feeling himself back when the account wasn't quite as big. Once it basically hadn't reached DFS circles, he was pretty proud of himself. Someone saying, I'm convinced he's the best troll of all time. He says himself, I appreciate the compliment. Holy shit, am I the only person on gambling Twitter that didn't know this? English Math PhD says, I would venture to guess the vast majority don't know this, but some certainly do. It's just me releasing the opposite of my plays on that account. I'm as good as he is bad.
Right. Yeah. And there's more of this stuff too. But he and like when his account was small, he was like responding to Ben the Bettor, right, and trying to like build up his account and stuff like that. And then eventually he wouldn't acknowledge anyone calling him, the actual Ben.
I have breaking news, Brian.
What?
Ben the Bettor is shook. He is in my DMs right now, trying to disprove all of this by showing me a screenshot of his other account, English Math PhD, having blocked him. And
Oh,
then
well,
says,
that's just proof.
I'm willing to hop on a Discord call right now. Which I absolutely love that that's his go-to move. Hopping on a Discord call. And this is the whole thing. It was a funny bit.
Yeah, it
Ben,
was.
you had something and you just had to fly too close to the sun, buddy. You had it.
He he seriously was like, I did the Gerald Brovlowski South Park meme. I don't know if you saw that episode where he was a troll, and then he goes so far that it's like there's causing like a war against Sweden or something like that. Like, he just took it too fucking far.
Yeah. And I mean, one of the things too that, people were kind of the rate at which he was losing, and we've established this dynamic before where, most people are going to be slightly below break even if you are flipping coins on spread bets because of the VIG, and generally they're 50-50 if the lines are efficient. But he was losing at a clip that was much greater than even if a goldfish was picking out these plays, to where that's actually what initially set the alarm bells up. If this was the oppo betting of himself, he is actually a legitimately good sports bettor.
Yeah, I think he's a legitimately good sports bettor, but he also was running hot. So Ben was running cold. Like, I think he was still like getting lucky. I mean, he was betting a lot of different markets too. I doubt he's that good. So there's a lot of sports betting people in the sports betting community who, if you go through these messages and stuff, who know. So hopefully they'll come out too, like Whale Capper. I don't know who else on here responds to him. If you guys look through it, like, there's like a ton of the guys who know, and like there are a lot of the Canadian sports bettors too follow him.
Yeah,
I can't tell if all of them know, but I think they do.
Yeah, the guys that I've seen, so like in my mutual follows that we have, like you said, the Whale Capper guys, we got our buddy Water Show here, we got the Pat Mayo guys, Paul Shaughnessy.
Yeah.
So he is it appears he is Canadian, which makes sense for the continuity with the character there. And then if you go through his feed, he's much more into, I would say, hockey, tennis, some of the more kind of smaller market sports for his betting.
And he lays down a lot of hockey or a lot of tennis bets. I think he did hockey too. Yeah, he did do hockey. A lot of baseball. Yeah, and his old parody count was the tennis one. So that's probably what he was starting with.
PayPal, do you really have to answer this? If you were trying to create a nice alibi, blocking your own account would be a great way to do that.
I'm assuming enough DFS bros are friends with Pat Mayo and his producer there, to get him, hey, like, obviously this guy is you like, you tweeted at him telling him if you go through that producer guy's tweets, he's claiming, he says the same shit, like, oh, Bo is Ben.
Bo is Ben. So this is Paul Shag, who does lots of good content for Pat Mayo, English Math PhD. I guess it was a fair question given how many personalities I assume and counts that I have. Paul says, unfair to people to assume that Bo account is your main account. Borden says, two well-followed professional bettors on this app who know me well under a different identity, but don't know that this is me. All of this unnecessary obfuscation keeps the mind sharp and our common enemies, dementia and Alzheimer's, at bay. Good for my health. So I continue, says English Math PhD.
How ironic that it comes to a conclusion about mental health after he threatens committing suicide under his troll account.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like, you hope, for someone to pull off a bit like this, that it could go two ways, right? You could be a legitimately funny comedic mind, or you can just be a Reddit style 4chan troll born out of the fires and the irons of the conspiracy internet.
So my take on any of these could be true, but I had another take that I mentioned to you was, so like it's pretty clear that he wants to be respected in the sports betting community, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like a sneaky way to get around selling picks. Like, I'll just make a really shitty account, like the worst account. People pay me to fade me, and I get to have fun. And so I don't have to sell picks and be a shill. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the best of both worlds.
It really is. And I give credit for that, because we've talked too, like, doing sports betting content is fucking hard. We've talked about the issues with it and just how it's really hard to do. Really, the only successful kind of sports betting content is either like long form futures bet type stuff, or paid groups, ETR Discord, Bet the Prop Discord, where they put out the line, you hit it quick, the line moves. But for the most part, like, doing this is hard. So if you're actually trying to capitalize on it beyond just your own personal play and you're getting limited, an idea like this is actually a brilliant way to save face and be able to still make money.
He releases his lines at like the same time. He tries to get the overnight lines, which is a good move, right? Like, do you think Ben the Bettor, the real Ben the Bettor, is doing shit like that? Like, wouldn't the dumbest bettor like be betting 5 minutes before the game? Right? And he does it every night, line shops. Can you highlight Jonathan Fuller's comment there?
Yeah.
So I bought Sherlock Holmes hats, and here I got a pipe with a pipe and shit.
And you
for Pete and myself.
When did you send me that?
I don't know. Before all this.
That's the thing. So Brian and I had been preparing. We had been going back and forth for a while. Did we want to do this show? And I had said to you, I'm like, it's a good bit. Like, I kind of want to play around with it, let it breathe. And you had even sent me the detective stuff. And then I was like, once he did the suicide thing, I said, this is no longer fun. Like, I don't, it's like, we just need to be done with Ben the Bettor. He had a good run, but now it's done.
I was ready for the thumbnail of me and you with our Sherlock Holmes hats and you cut it out, and then we just reuse it for other shows and stuff. Yeah. And then he goes and fucking ruins it. But yeah, so like, we've been thinking about doing that. Oh, he did. The reason I did that was one, I wish I remember what it was, but he did another thing where it's like, it was not nearly as bad as the fake suicide bullshit, but like, he said something, I can't remember, like a week ago, and it's just like pissed me off, where I'm like, we got it. I DM'd you. I'm like, let's do it. Let's do this. Like, fuck this guy. I sent you the DM. Maybe we could go back and look.
In that part of it, like, I can appreciate the fucking with, DFS pros who take them too seriously, stuff like that, get into head-to-head battles. Like, I appreciate that side of the bit. As someone who did the Pete Manzanelli character myself, that was like half the fun, is poking fun at how we all can be too serious with this stuff. And then he leaned too much into what he wanted the character to be.
Can you highlight Shano 53's?
That might be in yours.
No, it's on yours. It's just underneath the Jonathan Fuller one.
Yeah.
This is another reason why I didn't want to do it, is because like Shit My Money and Blender, and people were like making money off of him. He was donating in DFS, even though that's my fucking alpha. Is that the right term? I'm the one who should be getting fucking that money. I started all this. But like, he like, we don't want to ruin other people's fucking game action and stuff like that. But like, eventually it's like, no, he's doing this suicide bullshit, so like, fuck you. But yeah, so like, there's a whole bunch of reasons why it's like, we don't know.
Brian, you brought it up with him, right?
He didn't really like respond to me. I think he was probably drunk or something watching the games, and he didn't want to, just give me the money and get over with it or something. But you brought up the conspiracy kind of idea that the reason he's like, no, send me PayPal. I want to see your fucking name. I want to see your email.
That's what I thought that would have been part of the fun for Empire Maker. Like, sure, I'll pay you, but you're going to have to kind of quasi self-dox. It's actually not easy to set up, PayPal accounts. And you do, I think you were telling me a story, and I know I once tried to set a PayPal account for the Mans, and it did not work. I could not get it verified. So the fact that he didn't have a PayPal account was a pretty telltale sign that he didn't want to dox himself that way. Yeah.
Although, I mean, it's not unlikely that a professional bettor has like gotten his account banned on PayPal for taking money, right, from Bovada or something.
And the other thing we should do, just to put the final nail in the coffin as Ben the Bettor tries to, prove his innocence for me as his bit comes to an end, is Brian did put on his forensic hat and was looking at the posting patterns of English math and Ben the Bettor here, which I can pull up. And the posting frequency is eerily identical of when they are posting here.
Yeah, just go through the last 3 days. That's all you need to do. Like he signs off and signs on at the same time, and then goes to bed at the same fucking time every day.
Both accounts are active at the same time. Both accounts are dormant.
This is the last one I think I sent you. This is like, okay, so he did like one post on the 14th under his real account. So he like took the whole day off, both him and Ben, just randomly. But then they're back on 21 hours later. It's just usually an hour difference, you know, like he needs to type. It's random on which one he starts off with. But you can see he like goes to bed and signs off at the same time and shit like that.
Brian, this is a blurry screenshot here for me. Here's another one. 42 minutes, 1 hour,
right.
Gap, 10 hours, 10 hours.
10 hours,
literally the exact same patterns here.
The exact same patterns, yeah. Like, and it is kind of blurry. I'm a MS Paint man, as you know, Pete. So not the highest quality, but you guys can go and look at the two accounts. It's not hard. Unless he's frantically deleting the evidence, but we've saved all this shit anyway. So, and there's so many people who know.
That's the thing too, when there is enough of the people who have had fun with it. And I actually give those guys credit too. And I think they probably felt like we did when we initially found out, where it's like, this is a fun bit. Like there are people in the chat, and I get this. Damn, I'm so distraught that it's over, because it legitimately provided so much entertainment.
Right. And it'll be interesting. Well, it's not over. It's not over. It's over for us. Like, we're not going to deal with them anymore. But like, you know, I don't know. We'll see. But like here's my guess is he's gonna try this whole no, that's not me for a couple weeks or something, right? And you'd hope some of these sports betting guys would go like, no, it's him. You can't do this fucking suicide stuff. Sorry. You know, you'd hope they'd step up and say that, but you never know. Maybe they won't.
It's like it in anything though, where when someone you're close with, like if you had a really problematic tweet, you know, it would be very hard for me to come out and shun you. So these guys who have been in on the ground floor of this bit then see it, like they're not going to publicly come out and condemn him, but we're now giving everyone the permission to be done with the bit.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That could definitely happen. I mean, but if you do go through that guy's tweets, there is like 10 or more people at least who know. At least. And like the guy who DM'd us, he wasn't in any of these either. So there's more people that know.
And I think the account who DM'd us, I think he just created it to alert people, because it was basically a burner account, but it was a great lead. It was a great lead.
Yeah, no, we didn't know. How about that? What is that group? Remember they went on Rufus Peabody's podcast and shamed Rufus?
Yes. I know. And that guy Seth, they have some.
They have some online name. Maybe someone watching.
It's like P-Town or something like
that. Yeah,
it's
something Town.
like that. Yeah,
is their sports betting group, and they have like the highest sports betting standards and morals, right? And they went on there and they talk shit to Rufus.
Oh, there it is. Seville. That's it.
Seville. Yeah. So if any of those guys know, and you're letting this guy fucking make suicide threats out there, but you're gonna go on Rufus's fucking show and talk shit to him, then you're a fucking hypocrite. You know, like say something. And you figure those guys they'd be investigating everything. And if you don't know, I take all that back, and you're wonderful human beings.
Yeah.
Seville,
Ben has rejected our requests to come on the show for literally 6 months. And as this episode entails, this is us closing the book on Ben the Bettor. We are not giving him any more attention. He ruined his bit, and now he can find another fun thing. And hopefully he'll come back smarter. He'll have learned from these lessons, and he can workshop a better bit.
There's an Alex Baker in my chat going, "Mans is a parody?" ? So here's what he should do, right? Okay, fucking sell your picks, man. You have a huge audience. You're doing all the legwork anyways. Keep your account, change it to your professor dude. Unless maybe he's rich. Like
I don't know. Did we
he got me to
screenshot?
He got me to screenshot too, you fucker.
No. Was it there a thing he was like grading papers as a part-time job? The
Oh
English
yeah, but
math
I mean,
PhD?
maybe, I mean, because he did really push for this 5K, so he probably really wanted it. Um, I don't know, but the way that Ben the Bettor loses, you would think this guy has $10 billion, because that's how bad fucking Ben the Bettor is.
No, and that's why I'm legit impressed. He's a good sports bettor. That's what's impressive about it. Who knows what kind of limits and stuff he runs into.
Right. And also, let's say he's not this parody account. He's frantically sending us messages.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you give a fuck? You're a known loser. You admit you're a loser constantly. Like you admit, you did, even in his question and answer, he's like, I know people are betting against me. He's like, no, I got to protect that image of being the worst sports bettor of all time. Fuck you. You were trying to keep your fucking troll going. And what's he going to do? He's going to come on here. He won't show his face. He'll turn his camera off.
Exactly. That's the thing. I will say, Ben, I wasn't going to indulge you, but if you want to, this is the terms of how we'll let you on the show. You post a video of your face on your Twitter account talking and telling people that you are who you say you are. And if you do that, you self-dox, and we'll be able to match up the voice with your previous audio stuff. Then we will have you on. If you are willing to put your face and your voice out there, then we will do that. Don't you think that's a fair proposition?
I'm trying to see what that solves for us.
It doesn't solve any, but it is giving him a chance. If this is the coincidence of all coincidences, of everything, then this will, if he has been wrong, then he can put himself on video, and then we will have that person on with the camera.
I wanted to do like a little trickery. You didn't want to play any games. I wanted to be like, well, let's do this. Let's try this just to get it like 100% for before the show. But I guess if he wants to, I'm not sure that proves anything. How can you prove he doesn't speak Russian? Like the Bobby, the real account is a Russian speaker, it looks like, who's also fond of alliterations. Ben the Bettor.
Yeah, Ben the Bettor. What was the other? We had some ones that was like Cap the Capper. What was it? There was
someone who's on Pat Mayo's show, I think, right? Cody.
Yeah. So, like you
There's
said,
no way all those sports bettors are going to keep tight-lipped. Do you think they're like united as a front?
It doesn't matter because it doesn't matter, honestly.
I think he should do honestly. The best play is to just be like, go on our show as yourself under the English math guy. Just tell this was a great bit. You're a fucking legend if you come out now, and then keep going. And then if people fall for it, people fall for it. But then switch your Patreon and make some cash. Like who knows how much he's making right now? But like you're basically like proven winner. You know what I'm saying? By being so bad as Ben the Bettor. Yeah. You could easily, I'm sure, Run Pierre and Alphamo and all of them would love to have you on some show talking about your bit and pumping up your Patreon.
There is lots of the actual full story. Maybe he's giving out Oppo bets to sports bettors he's sub to from Canada. If you read through his timeline, he's a smart dude. He's an overeducated dude that knows what he's doing.
Yes. Yeah. He's an overeducated dude and apparently very bored.
He's so overeducated that he had to put it in his handle that he's overeducated.
Right. Yeah. Like what a douche.
English math PhD.
You're a PhD. Wow. Congratulations.
I'm going to change my account to PD bachelor's degree. Just so I can let people know I have a media communications degree.
Yeah. I'm not sure that'll meet for the professor's standards. Yeah, he definitely he's very well spoken. He has a big vocabulary, and he's a huge hockey fan.
Big hockey fan. I do agree with Sean. We'll have to see if this video doesn't get more views the naked yoga video that the internet is broken, Brian?
I don't think it will. That was a big one. That got like 5,200 views just on your channel.
I know.
We should put Ben the Bettor does naked yoga, Shiba coin after that or something.
Yeah, how's Shiba coin looking these days?
Shiba coin is a store of value. I don't know if you're.
Is it a stable coin or is it just going up and?
It's like a stable coin except with like unlimited upside.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It is.
I feel like we're missing some more on this.
Yeah. My thing that really just got, the straw that broke the camel's back for me, and we've said it multiple times, was the suicide threat, because when you do that, there's no way you can lose, right? Where if people come after you, you just claim, hey, I'm in a bad mental headspace. And then when they have to back off because people are humans and want to respect that, then you laugh at them for falling for your parody. And so once you've entered that territory, there is no humor. The humor has stopped. Yeah. It has ceased to exist. And I wonder too if Bo realized that when he deleted the tweet as well, because there was no reason. I think he realized he took the bit too far.
Yes, and I imagine some of those sports bettors who know are like, dude, don't say you're going to commit suicide, then tag Dan Negreanu.
Yeah.
You know? I sent you another one from him where he it's not him. We're guessing this isn't him. But you could see who's he interacting with there, Whale Capper?
Yeah, this is Andy, and let me pull this up. This is from about a year ago, Deep Dive podcast. Very good podcast, by the way, with Drew and Andy. Bo says, I raise this Bordeaux to you, gentlemen. My cup overrunneth with moments prior to imbibing. I don't actually think this is a photo of him. Drew replying, cheers, Ben, Bo.
Right.
And I will say, I had in part of our little investigative sleuthing, I know Drew. I've met Drew. I obviously know Pat Mayo well. I thought about reaching out to them, but I was like, we'll just do this. And then we can have these conversations with people. If they want to come out and say stuff, they can. But we just wanted to get this out there. It was time to pull the Band-Aid off of a bit gone bad.
Yeah, definitely. That's like, come on, dude. Like it pissed me off. I don't know about you. It's like,
that's the thing. Like the troll was so good, but once you're the boy who cried woof, then you don't get to have the fun anymore.
And then he goes to me and you to be the intermediaries, right? Oh, let me see if I can get my my victims to dance for me a little bit more,
Yeah.
They will. They're good guys. They know.
Yeah. Yeah. And the stuff this is the whole other thing too that started to get me. Empire Maker, he was doing a fun thing. He's done it with the steak of fish. Like Empire Maker has legitimately funded entertainment. We talk about like a patron of the arts. Empire Maker has been a patron of DFS entertainment. His steak of fish, getting these guys to smoke bongs out of, empty Gatorade bottles and all this. Like he does fun shit, and he saw an opportunity here to have fun. And then he got manipulated to pay up on a bet because of a suicide threat from a person who didn't want to dox himself. And once you do that, you can call that a full-on grift theft of $5,000. And if you wanted to spin it that way, I think you'd be within.
It's a little spin. It's a little spin.
It's a little spin, but I think you could,
because he wasn't betting. Yeah, because he wasn't betting with the same person he thought he was. This is not dead on either. But if you're playing cards and then someone uses your account, like you're playing heads up, and then like Dan Bilzerian, that whole deal back in the day or whatever, someone else plays on your account. It's not exactly apples to apples, but I guess he could have a claim. Yeah. And listen, I warned him. I warned him too. So it's not
this is probably a better term by I shouldn't say, he got hustled. He got hustled in that.
A little bit, I guess. A little bit. Yeah. He voluntarily tried to get him. He voluntarily did a lot of it. And I think clearly he was opposite. He was trying to make money himself. So Although that does happen in hustles too. So yeah, I guess that's
Look,
little.
this is the thing. As I have told you guys, we have invited Ben on. You could go through the DMs. We have invited him on the show 5, 6, 7
Oh
times.
yeah, at
He has
least.
said no. If he this is our terms for coming on the show. Put out a video of you with your face recording your statement that you're real, and then we will consider. We will consider. But you're not coming on this show with your little hidden camera to try to save your Patreon subs. I apologize that the cancellations are coming. But Ben, you can put out that video. And if you do, then we can talk about next week coming on the show.
Oh, that reminds me. I gotta cancel my Patreon on him.
How much do you guys want me to do? Can we get a quick recap for people turning late? You're gonna just have to. I thought we did a good job recapping from the beginning.
Yeah. What? For people running in late, I mean, you could just rewind the show. We are on YouTube. Ben the Bettor is a troll account, and we basically knew about it for a little while. We've been mulling over doing a show on it, and decided once he did this suicide threat on EM2, and then got me and Pete mixed up in it, that we're like, okay, fuck you.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this might be the rare lulls where I think we just we shut this one down. We're happy to let Ben, who is just tilting his face off. Is he tilting his face off in your DMs right now?
Yes, he is, and on Discord.
Is he copying and pasting the same messages to both of us?
Probably. Hopefully, he's so frazzled he sends one from the professor's account by accident.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
And this is the whole thing about all of this. Let's just say Brian and I have gotten this completely wrong. Let's just say all the admissions. Let's just say that this guy Math PhD has hoodwinked and pretended like he was Ben the Bettor, and Ben the Bettor is a real person. The suicide is not a good manipulation tool to get paid. Like, full stop. Even if it's a legit thing, like that is not fair play anymore.
We agree wholeheartedly, and he involved us, Liquid Demons. Like, fuck that. Like, we agree with you, and also too, like, let's say he tries some bullshit again now. It's like, okay, first of all, this could help. This will just blow him up more. People will think he's like an awesome sports bettor. You know what I mean? Like, he's just going to make more money, like, if he wanted to. So fuck you. Like, he's got his money anyways. He made me dance for him one last time.
The thing is if you're actually real, like, you don't mind this. The fact that he's still thinking is he knows that the only good thing that Math PhD has done on the internet is coming to an end, and now he has to come up with another one. That's
exactly right. I said that kind of earlier, very similar. Is like, if he'd be like think about it. If someone said, like, Pete's, obviously your face is on them there, but if you were just your Twitter account and someone's like, Overzet's not real, you'd be like, what the fuck? Okay, whatever, dude. You know what I mean? Like, you would just fucking
Liquid Demon. You got so much to catch up on, but
did you just come? You just came in here, obviously. Hey, stop the show. Liquid Demons needs to be updated.
Did he say? Did we ever get a final tally? Because I know Drico was keeping track throughout the summer. Like, do we have a full, like, lifetime betting record number?
He puts his betting record out there. And that's another thing, is like, so he puts his full betting record out on Google Sheets. You could go and access it because it's a great tool for him to get more people to fade him, right? Like, it works perfectly with his bit.
Exactly. If you're trying to get more subs, if you're trying to get more subs, you have to either prove that you're really, really good or really, really bad. We can pull up my Betsperts bet tracking right now, and I'm at like a 45% hit rate. Like, I'm trying my hardest, and I'm at 45% trying to bet these fucking spread bets. That's a true number. You're living between 45% to 55%. If you're outside of that band on a large sample size, you are either really good or really good trying to be really bad.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, he was down a ton of money.
Yeah.
We did, if we did like, I think we were doing like $200 units, and it was like 20, 30 some grand. But he's not really down that money, people. He's up that money. He's betting the opposite, probably with a whole bunch of other solid bets. I think this guy likes the troll more than the money.
Of course. And that's why he's been and I get that too, as someone who's done it. Like, I've been willing to spend a lot of money on dumb bits. Like,
right.
it is fun to put money into that. So to funnel money back into, playing head to heads with DFS guys, knowing you can engagement farm it, I would make that trade-off myself. I'd punt off $1,000 to ship my money DFS for engagement farming. I would.
That's what he did. He probably punted off a couple grand.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why he probably didn't want to bet me. Because he's like, fuck, I have to lose to this guy. So I don't want to play him for 10 grand or 20 grand because I have to lose.
Exactly.
I should have bet Ricky D, right? I should have bet fucking Ricky D, and no matter what the terms were, because this guy's got to lose.
That is the thing. The spots that he's picked it in very, like, your bet was a longer time frame bet that would have required more of a capital investment. When he is willing to do these, it's on one-off. You'll constantly see the cadence of the tweets. Hey, I don't feel like playing tonight. I'll play. Like, he picks his spots because he doesn't want to bleed money on this bit too much. And it's honestly brilliant. Again, that part of it has been so good. Honestly,
he's a
Matt,
crazy Russian.
I gotta give you did really good. You did really good for a long time.
It was. He got me to dance multiple times. I've never screenshot. You've got me to screenshot. Congratulations. Another thing too is he's like funny, and some of his Ben the Bettor comments are smart. Like very occasionally he'll do something funny or smart too. It's not all just, oh, woe is me, dumb shit. Like, and then he'll do like the narrative, like only an idiot would say this stuff.
That was actually his flaw too, of like, it was almost like a guy sitting at a poker table with a bunch of regs that like balances his range to like an almost perfect degree of like two donkey plays, incredibly sharp plays. Like, some of his video content stuff and the jokes he got off were legitimately too smart for Ben the Bettor, the woe is me, Winnie the Pooh character.
Right. Like one of the dumbest bettors of all time.
Yeah. Also has like brilliant comedic timing and understands the workings of the DFS space and how to pull those levers.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It was a really good bit, man. Even after I read all this stuff too back then, I was like, God damn. And he would DM me like your DFS videos, like my whatever instructional ones. He's like, those are really good. They helped me a lot.
And that's exactly how you get someone to buy into your troll.
Yeah, I guess. Like I was done with him though after we didn't do the bet. And then he calls me out too, remember? Like, so like he wouldn't put any money down. He wouldn't play the jab step. Would only play the corner. He had to get coached. He was changing all the rules. And then I'm like, I'm not going to play for less than whatever. Like, it's not worth my time. And then he hangs up the phone and tweets that I back out of the bet. Right? Like, he must have been cracking up at me when I responded screenshotting and like, this is what I said, like something stupid. Like, this is what a professional bettor actually looks like. Like, he must be laughing his ass off. Like, look at this fucking dummy. He got me good.
Yes. I think we're going to end it there. Like we said, Ben, the offer is on the table. You post a video of you addressing the situation with full video and audio, and we will consider having you on if you do that. I think that's fair. We're not making any promises, but if he puts out that video, Ben, Brian, I would be willing to have a face-to-face conversation with Bo. I think that would be fair.
It's not hard to prove who you are. It's not very hard. So go ahead, prove who you are.
Ben, you can do that.
And we will happily admit we were wrong, and you could go back to being the world's worst bettor, admittedly.
Can you all find Manti Te'o's girlfriend next week? we will do the best that we can. Ben the Bettor being chess would be a great reveal. That'd be
Oh
a great
man, if he
reveal.
could act like that, like Chess's cadence to this guy's, oh my god, that would be like Daniel Day-Lewis. Look out.
Yeah. All
He's
right.
a pretty good
Yeah.
actor too, actually, though. In these little
The
like
audio.
talking to me, I'm like, I don't think this guy's a troll. I believed him.
I know I mean, when you had the call with him earlier this summer, I was like, Brian, buddy, come on, bud. And then I was impressed though, that the voice stuff lined up there, with the audio, the recent video. All right, guys.
Yeah.
We have said our piece. We will let the fallout play out. I know Ben is frantically trying to save his Patreon subs right now. Buddy, if you just keep putting out absolute dog shit plays, people will continue to sub. You're fine, bud.
Yeah,
You're absolutely
right. Or
fine.
just do what I said and flip and just come out. You probably make twice as much, and you get a ton of pub.
Yes.
And so hopefully everyone who's watching too, like, retweet us and whatever. Look into it yourself. Like, it's clear as fucking day.
Yes. Shout out to Math PhD again. Brilliant for so long. You flew too close to the sun. You fucked up. You made it not fun. Suicide threats are not funny. No one is going to indulge that. Congratulations on hustling Empire Maker out of 5,000. But honestly, kudos. From a content creation standpoint, you did really have a good thing going.
Yes. Yeah. No, that was brilliant. It was one for the books too. So hopefully he'll come out and just say it. So, we can get some more details on this. There's probably a ton of great stories.
Like I said, I will be happy to have Bo on to talk, because we would have lots of fun with it. You could spin up your new tout site, whatever it is. Right. You could come on and promote it.
No hard feelings. Yeah, and he could like go formally Ben the Bettor and then keep that 10,000 followers. He could play it so easily. It's like, okay, you did the suicide thing, that was dumb, but you could still come back.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I'm Peter Overzet. This is Brick75, aka Brian Hooper. We're here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. We will be back next week with what I assume will be a letdown episode. We'll see you then.